Is there anything like that I should know before,
D20's
like about
having.
the? I remember I missed like some of the last session.
I think that. I mean, I'm
So
gonna go
is
over
there
it,
anything
but
crucial
I
that you're not going to go over in the reintro that I
I
should
don't
know?
think
Okay.
so. I think that because you only missed like the last, I think, and I don't even remember what the last
Yeah.
part was. So I think
Okay.
we're good.
Yeah, I didn't get the chance to listen to the YouTube yet.
I'm
Yeah, I mean, I
having.
barely put it
I'm
up
having
yesterday.
difficulties with roll 20.
Are you?
I'm having difficulties for roll 20. I'll keep on trying to get in, but
Huh.
it's being a pain.
That's weird.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So
Sometimes it'll keep you in for weeks, and other times it just logs you out, and then you can't get back in for a while. But you get what you pay for.
You know what? Let me just.
Hey, I
let
pay.
me kick my.
Okay. Did anybody want to spend any experience?
I just
Not
did.
yet.
What'd you spend?
I spent 3 points on persuasion.
You bought your first dot of persuasion?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. Now maybe you can convince her to open the store when it opens in the morning. Okay. And I wrote this recap real quick in like just 30 minutes ago, so. And it's been a long time, so I don't remember everything. So if you come up with anything you want to talk about as we go over the recap, do it. All right, so last time on the Reckoning of El Paso, after visiting with Knuckle Duster in the hospital, Jorge and Jordan
Are we
decided...
recording?
Yes, I think so.
Oh,
I got this
okay.
big-ass red button on there. Yes, we're recording. Hi, everybody.
Okay, I didn't hear it. Sorry.
After visiting with Knuckle Duster in the hospital, Jorge and Jordan decided to run a stakeout and wait for his release. Meanwhile, Jasper's drone tracked the man in gray as he went downtown, and Sarah headed to the Black Pussy to do some research, but arrived after the shop had closed and was asked to come back in the morning. Then we all had our own separate shit going on. So Jasper's drone tracked the man in gray as he encountered another man with long white hair. Snipers took out the man in gray's guards, and then the man with the white hair drew a longsword from his coat pocket. Another sniper shot brought the man in gray to his knees, and the man with the white hair demanded that he leave with a message for the Black Rose. Their allegiance was over, and the man in gray was no longer welcome in the area. Jasper's drone tracked the man in gray back to the mansion, and through the window was able to record his meeting with two others, one of which turned out to be Sarah's father, and all three of them had no heat signature, according to Jasper's homemade X-scope. Unfortunately, the drone was spotted by another drone, and there was a not-so-high-speed chase, but Jasper's Archer was able to escape. And one thing I didn't put in here, but to bring up, the man with white hair called the man in gray Ortiz, and the man in gray called the man with white hair Wright. And that's, I mean, you don't see the spelling, but it is W-R-I-G-H-T, if anyone's taking notes. Okay, then we had Sarah decided to do the research on her own at a local Whataburger, surfing the web in search of any information about living beings that have no heat signature. About an hour into her research, a pair of supposed FBI agents tried to bring her in, but she was able to outwit them and escape, mostly due to using the cops and changing their wanted status on her phone. And Jorge and Jordan spent a few hours getting to know each other as they sat in the hospital parking lot waiting for Knuckle Duster's release, and finally, at about 4 a.m., Knuckle Duster exited the main doors, a car pulled up for him, and he got in, and you guys followed him, and then you followed him back to that West Side mansion, the same one where Jasper's drone had just recently escaped from, and the same one where you guys had found earlier as you tracked, I forgot what her name was, some unimportant character's phone, the girl that was missing from the hotel. And that's where we are.
It's,
So,
yeah, it's the same mansion, right?
yeah, it's the same.
That same West Side Mansion from her
It's the
phone
same
too.
West Side Mansion with a guard shack out front and a couple of guards in it. And I think we're mostly all caught up. Did anything happen that I didn't bring up?
I was going to ask you, do we know? Well, my character probably wouldn't. Jorge probably wouldn't know this yet. But was Jasper's drone able to determine like who the snipers were with?
They seem to be with the white hair man. They,
I mean, it looked like they were.
the second time that when they shot Ortiz, he motioned for them to do so. So they seem to be with the white-haired man. Anything else?
That sounds about it.
Okay. Well, since you guys are all human, you pretty much had to get a few hours of sleep. So we are waking up at whatever time you say it is, and it is now Monday.
I believe we all crashed at the safe house.
Okay. At the spooky safe house. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, at Jasper's. Jasper's there.
No, mine.
No, at Jordan's. Well, and Jasper didn't. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think his drone is either. He's talking to you guys like on phones and computers and stuff. He brought his drone in to do minor repairs on it after it fled the scene through trees and around trash cans and stuff.
Both Jordan and Jasper have spooky safe houses.
Jasper's safe house
so.
isn't spooky. Jasper's safe house is haunted, but the haunting is actually a teleportation booth. So, it has it has basically something he can't remove that allows a certain organization that he doesn't understand to come and go at will. So it's a back door that he can't use and can't control and can't turn off.
That's the naked man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the naked man.
So, yeah. Mine's just spooky and formerly haunted.
Yeah. By the real definition of haunted, as in there was a ghost and it still has like ghost imagery and just gives you a natural bad vibe.
Yeah.
Okay. So
it just feels messed up.
It's Monday when you guys all start waking up. I guess you went to bed at like 5 or 6, so it's probably 10 or so if you guys want to push it, or you could stay longer. But once you have the
I'd say,
opportunity to stir is probably
everybody had a long night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went ahead and called in sick to work.
Okay.
So.
I would have told my foreman that he's on his own today.
Okay.
Being the boss.
I kind of go like this. So. Yeah, no work for Jorge today. He's a contractor, so no work.
Yeah, Jasper. Yeah, he doesn't have any real obligations either, so he's just.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Then you guys are good. Y'all start waking up at whenever you say you do.
What time did we go to bed?
Jordan would be
Like around
one of
5
the first
or so
ones
at
up.
the minimum.
Yeah, then Jorge's gonna wake up at 11 unless there's a good reason.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
I'm gonna need to go back home and I need to get another laptop.
Are you sure that's a good idea? How much is it
Well,
going to cost? I mean,
$1,200.
can I go with you to Best Buy right now and cover the cost?
I suppose, but I got I got my backup drives and stuff there. It'd take me forever if I don't.
Okay. It's, I'm just. Federal agents aren't the type to, go by a narrow miss and then not follow up.
They're going to be busy for a bit. I have a bit of a window. I just didn't want to go home alone.
Okay. I'll go with you.
All right.
Do you want me to come with you and drive?
Well, we also need to figure out what we want to do after, or what we decide we want to do, I guess.
I'm just saying, if you're concerned about being spotted or your vehicle being tracked, I can see if I can get us a vehicle that's untraceable and armored.
You know what? That's not a bad idea.
Okay.
All right, let's make your roll.
Cool. Let me pull up my
Jorge,
character
make some
sheet.
calls. I don't remember what the roll is. Did you got it in there, or do I need to look it up?
Let me see. Sorry, I'm pulling it up.
I passed it.
Fleet is intelligence plus technology.
Manipulation.
Plus
It's manipulation and persuasion, yeah, because I'm calling out to my people. So is that what I just hit that roll button and should mix those?
Yep, manipulation and persuasion.
I always see how this works.
Six.
I forgot what I.
Oh wait,
Damn. Well,
zeros
yeah.
are weird.
Oh no, it's one of them's a zero.
One,
yeah.
2, 3, 4. 4.
Yeah, that should
That's
do it, right?
Yeah, that is what your difficulty was. You needed 4.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize it was that much.
Let's see. Armored vehicle. Okay. Vehicles provided can be armored to withstand small arms fire. Let's make. Okay. And untraceable.
For the record, Jordan has the revolver and howdah pistol in shoulder holsters, and the equivalent of like about 4 magazines worth of reloads.
Okay. Yep.
Speed loaders, but
He's got a car for
Should
you.
I ask for? Should I ask for a black Denali armored?
Sure.
You ask for what you think is appropriate. Now, if you want to
That's what I'm
flex,
at.
then
do we?
Yeah.
No, well, you think a Denali's flexing? I mean, I didn't think those like stand out that much. Do they?
I don't know.
I
want
know
some.
what that is.
That's what I'm
The,
saying.
This
I
is
don't know
El
what it is.
Paso.
Oh, it's a GMC. It's a GMC truck. It's like it's like an Escalade, but probably less luxury. Although I heard they're really nice inside and comfortable. But it's GMC rather than being like a Cadillac Escalade.
So, not
SUV.
ostentatious, but solid.
Yeah, I mean, you might notice the car if you're like, oh, I like Denali, so that's a nice, because they are nice cars, but they're not super luxurious, right?
Okay.
To my knowledge, I mean, I don't know like anybody else here that's familiar with them. Like, I don't think they're super luxurious, but they're they definitely cost money, and they will set you back, but not like it's not like I'm rolling up in a Range Rover either.
Yeah. Okay. A Range Rover is what would have fit in better.
You think it'll fit them better?
Yep.
No.
Those are nice and very capable vehicles. I do like the Range Rover, but Denali's are dope too.
All right. So, do we have a plan to meet back up with Jasper when, or is he just gonna send his?
He's already got it fixed, so
I mean-
I don't know what he's gonna do with it. It didn't really need any. It just needed, it needed to be recharged and a little bit of maintenance here and there because it went through some bushes and a tree.
Yeah.
Just some cleaning up.
I mean, I think Jasper was mostly interested in that the right guy, so For now, he's just since they don't have like a plan going on, like an immediate thing. He's just looking for around downtown to see if he can find anything weird.
Okay.
That's where the right guy was, right?
Yep.
Or was it somewhere else?
Nope, that's where it was.
The guy that was saying this is my place now.
Yeah. Yeah. Was that okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right, then you guys show up at
I'm
Sarah's
putting a
house.
picture of it Denali in the chat.
All right, cool. And you guys show
I'd
up at
suggest
Sarah's
making
house. Oh, yeah, I think
I'd
I've
suggest
seen
we
that.
make a pass. I'd suggest we make a pass first to see if there's anything a little weird.
Okay. Make
Before walking up?
Wits and perception check.
While he's
Wits
doing
and
that, Seston, by the way,
awareness.
can we assume that anytime I ask for an untraceable vehicle, like I'm going to have the windows tinted as dark as possible without getting cops to pull us over?
Sure.
I don't know what the laws are in El Paso, but about tints. But
It's about the same as what your picture is. You can't tint
really,
the front. Yep.
that's it.
You can't tint the front. You can tint the back. The back.
Would they actually pull you over for?
So you said wits and awareness?
Yep.
Because again, I'd want this vehicle to be untraceable, meaning like people can't just look in and be like,
Well,
"Oh,
untraceable means that if they run the tags, it doesn't lead to the car, or it doesn't lead to you. That's what untraceable means. It doesn't mean that you can't see in there.
Yeah, but it also says that there's no way that NPCs using or that anyone using your vehicle can trace it back to you. So
Right.
so I would imagine, right? Like
Let's see.
it's the same deal before, like with
I
when we
guess it
pulled
kinda
up the
like-
mansion.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys can always wear like sunglasses and caps while inside the vehicle.
The nonchalant, I'm just a person.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's see. The vehicles procured are completely untraceable and will never lead authorities or prey to the hunters by themselves. That's what it means. That if they get your license plate number, it's not going to lead to you.
The vehicle by themselves. Okay. Wow. So if I tint it darker than this, it's not going to. The cops will definitely pull us, or will probably pull us over. Or
Well, I mean, it's definitely possible. It depends on how annoying they want to be, how bored they are.
plus, we're driving at night. Let's make it a little darker than this.
If you make it really bad, then that's the worst. The worst it'll be. But the idea is to not really draw attention, because if you get pulled over and they run your license plate and you're not the owner, now you're in worse trouble.
That's
Advanced
one
car
way
thieves
that it
can account for
benefits
that,
be a
though.
con.
Wait, but advanced car thieves account for that. They have like dummy plates set up and all that stuff to go back to false identification.
Yeah, but if you're pulled over and they run the plate, if you're pulled over because your tinting is illegal, and they run your plates, and the plates go back to some 85-year-old dude from Colorado, then, and the car's report is stolen,
No,
it's supposed to not lead back to you.
I don't know.
It's
Drive
also
casual.
supposed to not get attention. So yeah, drive casual. It's not a
Okay.
surveillance vehicle. That's a whole different thing. This is just untraceable.
I want a surveillance. Yeah, we didn't choose a surveillance vehicle for this one.
Is that cool that this truck is that nondescript enough?
I
Yeah,
think
no,
that's
it's fine.
Oh, what was you guys' perception rolls?
I got 3 successes. Jordan got 2.
Yeah, everything seems fine. You don't notice anything. Anything standing out?
All right, so let's go on in and let me grab
all
my
right.
my stuff.
Do you live here?
So how?
Is this your home or is this Jack's house?
It's my apartment,
It's your apartment. Okay.
but I go ahead and I'll grab all my I'll grab a few changes of clothes. I have a hidden spot where I have like my backup drives and whatnot.
Okay.
As well as grab my work computer.
I'm gonna keep driving around the neighborhood, like staying close by within 2 minutes. Like, take me no more than 1 minute to get back to you.
Okay.
So, just like send me a text, say up, like I'll pick you up, right where I dropped you off.
Okay.
Is
Yeah, I'll
Jordan staying with me?
I'll walk with you. No, somebody's got to go with her.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
there might be FBI agents hiding in her bathtub.
Jorge's gonna be very
Nothing
little use in
exciting
this
in
kind
my
of situation.
bathtub. Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, you don't see anything. Your place doesn't even look like it was broken into or anything. Everything seems still in its place. So if they sent somebody to look over your place, they didn't touch anything.
Yeah,
Everything seems normal.
that'll make me feel better.
Yeah, everything seems normal.
Spycraft
All right, well,
can be that way.
All right. Well, let's just go ahead and gather my things and then get the heck out of here.
All right, Nath. And before we leave, I'm like, is there anything else to for an extended stay? I hate to kind of come back here if there's heat.
Yeah, I know.
Did you get your toothbrush?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm collecting.
Don't want to come back if you forgot your toothbrush.
Few days of clothes, overnights, like toothbrush,
All right.
razor, makeup. Went ahead and just may as well go ahead and just grab snacks and stuff from the fridge because this is probably going to take a few days.
What kind of snacks does Sarah?
Lucky rabbit's foot.
She's not that superstitious, although she does have this pair of Google glasses from way back when that she's been tinkering with and having. But yeah, I forgot what I got the Google glasses to do. I'll have to remember.
I don't remember.
No, I don't remember.
Something like
You were using them as your focus. You're using them as your faith focus, not anti-faith focus.
Yeah, for something. I don't remember which one you took.
Oh, that I couldn't get it was the anti-brainwashing focus.
It's been so long, I don't remember.
But yeah, that was
damn thing.
because I figured
Thwart the Unnatural, was it? Or Repel?
repel.
Repel. Must brandish their object of focus and succeed at edge test difficulty set by the storyteller. Okay, and then you took. I guess that's all you took.
One other thing. At this point we do know. At this point, we absolutely do know that her mother, her dad, is one of them.
Yeah, that
was like the last thing that we did.
Signature. Right. Yep, she knows that. If the hunter moves, they need. Okay. Yep.
We all know that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if Sarah shared that was her father, Sarah knows it. I don't remember if she shared that was her father or not.
No, yeah, I don't know if she did that, but we do know that that person is.
I kind of deflected about. Yeah, we kind of I kind of deflected by saying I think I know what these things are, but didn't talk about my dad directly yet.
Okay, thwart the unnatural.
All right,
That's
fair.
what it says. So long as they hold their object of focus, the hunter is immune to supernatural abilities that would otherwise require a resistance test. For abilities that would automatically affect the hunter, instead may resist with an edge test. In both cases, the hunter must spend a willpower point to receive the benefits. This applies only to effects that target the hunter specifically and not to purely physical attacks or augmentations. For example, this edge would protect the hunter from vampiric mind control, but not from a rampaging werewolf attempting to tear their head off with razor-sharp claws.
Yeah. That was the purpose of that.
Yep. Cool.
And you know, while I'm here, I may as well go ahead and grab one of my latest journal that I've been journaling in.
Okay.
All right.
All right, you got everything. What's next on today's agenda?
Well, I thought we'd circle around with a. We need to actually discuss what we need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Bring Jasper in on
that was the thing at the end that we were like, we kind of out of character. We were like, we kind of need everybody in on this. We're making decisions.
Yeah, because we were waiting for our social media influencer to
Socialite.
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys also managed to pick up Jasper's drone, so now you're all together, kind of. This is all together as you ever were.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will we be able to consult with Letty yet?
The store is open. At
No,
least it's supposed to be open.
we didn't.
Yeah,
we
let's-
get to
head
that
over there.
point yet.
Well, let's
Yeah,
get.
let's-
How about we meet up? Why don't we just go to the store and just kind of sit down and everybody can share what they've learned, and we can get Letty's expertise and see if she has any references she can share.
Okay. And you guys arrive. Boom. Is that the actual danger and desperation level? Did I change it? 2, 3.
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Yeah, you only change the desperation to 3, but not the danger.
The black pussy is open. I mean, if you guys, I did not raise the danger level from the, the FBI thing, because the danger level is a representation of Ortiz being aware of you. But
Yeah.
if you guys want to raise the desperation level because of the FBI thing, we can do that. It's up to you.
No, I think you already did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I did.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. You guys are at the Black Pussy, and Miss Letty is just, cleaning up some stuff. Then nobody's in here yet.
All right.
Oh,
So,
good morning.
morning, Letty. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. Just fine. What can I do for you guys?
Here
Oh,
the
look at you
PCR.
guys are all together again.
Mhm. We are here to do some research.
Oh.
We are writing a particular piece together, but we've got qualities in our heads of the creature that we're trying to visualize and identify here. And since you're an expert in lore, we were thinking maybe if we describe some of the characteristics that we have come across, you might be able to point us in the direction of what kind of creature from the occult that we're probably talking about.
Okay. Well, tell me what your ideas are. She takes you over and sits down on the couch.
Well, how about first, let's narrow it down to things that don't give off a body, like a heat signature.
Things that don't give off a heat signature. Oh,
Right.
wow. Okay.
So it won't get picked up on
Cold-blooded.
infrared.
Cold-blooded. Okay.
Only comes out at night?
Only comes out at night. Okay.
And don't say the freaks.
Okay.
He's being corny on purpose. It's like he's being corny in a charming way.
All right.
Uh-huh.
What else you got?
A sensation of doom, a feeling of like doom or dread
Huh.
from the normal people around them.
Okay.
Oh,
I was gonna
right.
say
Did Jasper tell us about
possible
being able to take a bullet and then stand right back up again?
Oh. Okay. That's interesting.
Although I didn't
She
see
pulls
that
out a little
Jasper, you could
notebook and
probably.
starts writing stuff. But yeah, Jasper saw it.
How about a creature
also
where
mind control, right? Memory alteration. Being able to alter the memories of either its prey or associates.
Okay. She's taking notes in a little notebook.
And Jasper did say that they were really, really strong, that they could break through a steel door.
When did that?
Yeah,
happen?
you did.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, he remembers.
He's
from-
talking about
yeah,
his former
Yeah.
experiences.
Okay. Really strong. Okay.
how about aside from the lack of body temperature, and Sestonn, maybe you could help me phrase this right in the way that Jorge would have noticed when upon his medical examination.
Okay.
Remember, like you said, something was different about Knuckle Duster, and that like he exhibited human characteristics, but it was weird. It was like it
Yeah.
wasn't.
He had lowered
He wasn't-
breathing. He probably
yeah.
had a
Oh,
lowered
like he-
pulse rate, but you
Yeah.
didn't actually get close enough to touch him. His color was kind of off.
I'll say that to Letty,
Yeah.
and then I'll also say, and also some kind of, we're thinking like an impulse where when potential prey gets close to it, it almost has like an impulse to pounce on it, and it has to like actively fight with itself
Oh,
to
good.
try to stop it. Yeah, we're getting creative with this one.
Okay. Well. Have a seat and let it go look around and
Ooh, pardon.
There's some stuff. Also, I want who has a cult? Anybody that
I
actually
do.
has points in a cult?
I do.
I
Make-
do.
I do.
Make me an intelligence
Yeah, I do
and
too.
occult roll. And I'm also gonna make for her.
Ouch. 1.
Oops, hold on. There we go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3. I got 3 successes.
Let's- down here. Occult. Sarah
I got 2.
Okay, Jorge got 1. I got.
Yeah,
I
got
got
3.
a fuck
Jasper
ton.
got 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And Jasper got 3. And Jordan got 2. Okay. So Letty's the only one that pulls up anything. But you guys, you guys go through her stuff and her library and you're looking for things and you're not really finding anything. If you want to tell a story on it, if anybody got a 3 or so, then
I'm trying to-
maybe you got a little bit close to something, but you don't find anything. So if you want to tell a story on what you did find, go ahead.
I think one of the things that we end up running into is these books are not designed to, look up symptoms first. They're like,
No,
oh,
they're-
you want to talk
exactly.
about the Jabberwock. And then you gotta
And
find
plus,
out
I mean,
after
mostly
the fact
everything
their
in here
descriptions.
is about like hedge magic. It's mortal witchcraft magic stuff. There's not a whole lot of things on monsters.
Hmm.
But she does come
I-
with a book, and she opens it up and shows you guys, and she says, "So I found something. I mean, you guys are gonna laugh. This is a book on it's on vampires like Bram Stoker, but
Mm.
this is written by someone who claimed that she was part of a vampire cult, and she talks about well, you guys can read it, and she hands it over to you, and it's just a chapter in her. The author is claiming to have been part of a vampire cult, and the things that she's writing it's basically how they had. There, I wrote some stuff. What was this one? It talks about a blood cult. This was from the 70s, and she writes about how they had a master that they referred to as the master, and none of them actually knew his name. And he had particular favorites from among their cult, and one guy in particular, he made a vampire. That's the term that she uses. He made him a vampire, and after he did this, then the guy got sick. He was in a lot of pain. He lost all of his color. His personality changed. He was always starving, and he drank the blood from the cult, the same as the master did, and the blood seemed to sustain him. He could no longer eat normal food. And and that's what it was. And everybody wanted that gift that was given to that man. They all wanted. That was
As this is sounding up.
they were all waiting for their chance to get that. And this is the only thing I found on it, and it's a little bit culty and classic. It's it nothing in here really seems genuine. It just seems like some crazy person who was part of a bad cult. But sometimes there's truth to these things. But I do have a friend of mine who's much more into monsters. Then let me give him a call and see if he has anything that can fit your description. And she's looking at your notes again. He especially specializes in legends of immortality.
Okay.
You guys you don't have any.
With
and what you're looking for, was there any immortality to it?
We don't know.
Practically impervious to, very hard to kill. I don't know about immortal.
Well,
but
he
very
might have
hard to
something
kill.
He'll probably have something with that. So let me give him a call, and yeah, you guys just keep looking, and maybe you'll find something too. And she goes over.
So, as Letty was talking about, the cult, and, all this other stuff, Jordan runs his fingers over his the hammer he has at his side, the same way that a Catholic would run their hands over a rosary when being exposed to something disturbing.
Mm-hmm. You guys all take note of that. Now she comes back.
I say in
20 minutes later.
Well,
go ahead. Have your conversation.
Yeah, when she steps away, I do want to say to the group, like in a low voice, everything she described is consistent with what I observed in Knuckle Duster that night at the hospital. It's like to a T.
Okay.
Ew.
I mean,
Well,
this sounds crazy.
that
You think we're going to be dealing with vampires?
It's not
Well,
impossible,
all right, so
but let's
Let
finish
me
our research
interject
first
real
before we
quick.
jump to
Keep
conclusions.
in mind that in the world of darkness, vampire lore is not as expanded upon as it is in real life. Bram Stoker's Dracula was written, and it's written pretty much exactly the same way it was. This was a human that Dracula allowed to tell his story, and he really had to defend himself from both the Camarilla and the Sabbat after exposing vampires that way, after exposing the Cainites that way. But most of the, Anne Rice and Twilight and all that crap never happened because, the Kindred have kept a lid on it. So, but everybody is aware of the, there's still like 10% of vampire legend. There's just not the full what we have because, they keep a lid on it as much as they can. But everything Bram Stoker still got out.
So then in this world, are vampires less common where it would be like mentioning the Wendigo?
Yeah. Because the Wendigo is
And
something
so then
that
we're
you really don't know too much about. And yeah. It's a
okay.
monster.
So
They're not
then I'm like,
obscure,
guys,
just
obscure.
yeah.
yeah. So then what I said before, like stands like I kind of in a hushed voice, like this kind of fits everything I observed in Knuckle Duster.
Yeah. I
because as
think
far as
we
what
need
I
to
was
finish
looking
our
at,
research before we jump to conclusions.
so
Sure.
when the quote unquote FBI agents stopped me, what I was looking at was some potentials for human appearing entities that wouldn't create body heat, and so not a lot of options. I came up with zombie. There's one called a Pontianak, which is originated from Indonesia and Malaysia, but these were like the white woman, so I don't think that fits it.
And zombies.
Banshee.
Does Walking Dead exist in the
Oh
world
yeah,
of darkness? By the way, is that
zombies have not been cut down at all. In fact, since vampires have been cut down, I think it might even be safe to say zombies are bigger because they kind of took that space too.
In real life, I think they're bigger now.
Yeah.
But yeah. So Jorge would probably say, yeah, this really doesn't seem like zombie fits, at least not in any way that we. If there's a parasitic, entity controlling an undead, no, it does not fit what I observed at all.
Yeah,
This thing was intelligent. Knuckle Duster was intelligent.
It doesn't fit. Like another one was called a banshee, and that doesn't fit either.
That's a screaming thing, right?
Yeah, it's generally a female spirit. So these are both male and female. There's one called a Dybbuk, Dybbuk. It's from Jewish folklore. But this has more of a dislocated soul of someone deceased who's taken over a host body to complete unfinished business.
Wait,
So I mean, all right. So Jewish folklore has more than its fair share of creatures that will send chills. So the Dybbuk is a dislocated soul of someone deceased who has taken over a host body to complete unfinished business.
Let's not rule that one out.
Character, it's Dybbuk.
Dybbuk. Thank you.
Yeah.
And that leaves either bogeyman or vampire.
Boogeyman? They
Boogeyman.
spell it both. Yeah, boogeyman.
Well,
The boogeyman, like the evil.
Yeah, like it.
Michael Myers.
Yeah. Can take many forms, but their purpose remains constant: scare living daylights out of children and coerce them into good behavior. I honestly don't think boogeyman, so that leaves vampire or Dybbuk.
Well,
Then we
if
need to go
it's
see a
Dybbuk,
rabbi.
then we're dealing with a bunch of them. Because
Well, and not to mention, with a Dybbuk, you could probably see them during daylight if they're just inhabiting a body and Because if they're
good call.
inhabiting a body, they would probably still have a heat signature. So I don't know how this made my list.
That's a good call,
So,
too.
Letty comes
so
back.
yeah,
let's see if
then
we-
that leaves Bogeyman or Vampire, but I'm
Well-
leaning towards Vampire.
My friend can meet with you guys. In fact, he's kind of excited at the prospect of being a source for your book.
Excellent.
I forgot his name, so I have to look it up real quick. Oh,
In the meantime, did I
remember.
know?
Leonard Mesker. And she hands you, just a pulled out paper from her notebook. It says Leonard Mesker, and it gives an address and has his, and says at noon. He's a little bit of an eccentric. He's a professor at the university, but he's big into history. But his hobby has been searching the occult for immortality things, and he's come upon a lot of old books and manuscripts and things on on monsters. In fact, he has a lot of things that have escaped the church's hands from hundreds of years ago. So, maybe he'll have the right answer for you guys.
I mean, like books that have escaped it? Okay.
Yep, like books
Okay.
that have escaped from the church's hands.
Okay.
All his money seems
Letty,
to
do you
go
happen
towards-
to know?
Sentient books. Got it.
Letty, do you happen to know anything deeper about the author of the book that we're just reading? And is she from this area?
The cult.
Right, the former cult
She
vampire
takes
cult
the
You're
book
telling
member.
us
and turns it to the back page on the jacket. It looks like she was from Oklahoma in the 70s. She wrote the book in the 70s. So,
So not likely around here then.
not likely around here unless, if she's moved this way. But, I do not know that. But, can't rule it out unless you find out where she is. Hands you the book
No, what's
back.
her name? Let's take
name
that.
her.
Let's take it.
Her name is Wendy Galaxy.
Her.
I thought you were going to say
Wendy
Adams.
Galaxy.
Wendy Galaxy.
Wendy Testaburger.
Wendy Testerberg. She's Wendy Galaxy.
Andy Testaburger.
Cool. Well, let's go see your friend. Thank you so much, Letty. You're so helpful.
You're welcome.
Really
I hope you guys
appreciate it.
find what you're looking for. He's got a lot of really neat things.
Can't wait to meet him.
So
Gonna be good.
after we walk out, I'm like, I hate to be the paranoid one, but perhaps we should have only half of us meet this person and the others stand nearby, because after what happened with Sarah, it's kind of clear that there are other interested parties. So maybe we want to limit our exposure to him.
Precaution doesn't help. It doesn't hurt. Because this is kind of the result of us proactively tracking him down rather than the other way around. I think we're less likely to run into a trap, but it doesn't hurt to go some precaution.
Yeah.
Complacency kills.
Okay, nobody looked up Wendy
Complacency might as well
Wendy
buffer the
Galaxy
night.
on the fucking internet. All right then.
I was going to,
Okay.
but everybody's talking, so.
All right.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
well,
she's
he's
dead.
got the computer.
She's dead. She died about a year after getting this book published.
Oh,
That
Of
does
what?
not bode well.
neck failure, loss of blood.
Did it say
I
why
don't
she
know.
died?
I don't know,
Cardiac
let's come up with
arrest.
Yeah, cardiac arrest. Yep.
Yeah. Everybody dies
Yeah.
of
Unexplained
Cardiac arrest
arrest.
is whatever they say when
Yep.
they don't know what it is.
Unexplained
Yeah.
cardiac arrest at the age of 33.
Oh Jesus, that's young.
It can happen. It's just
That's
rare.
my age.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you can share that with the group if you want.
Oh yeah. Everybody, just so I'm gonna pipe up and say, she's dead. She
Yeah, she
she
did.
died basically a year. She dead. She died a year after the book came out. Did cardiac arrest. 30 years old.
Wow.
Yikes.
You do know
Very
cardiac arrest is what they say when coroners don't know what the heck it is, right?
Well, speaking out of character, cardiac arrest is when the heart stops. So,
Yeah. So she's.
Go away. That just landed on my pants that I'm going to wear tomorrow, which probably shouldn't be on the floor. Okay, there we go.
Which I was on mute trying to say, yeah, I would have said what I would have said what Jessica said. Wait a minute, actually, well, what's the character's name again? It's Priscilla.
Sarah.
Right?
Sarah.
yeah. Sarah.
Sorry.
Priscilla's
Priscilla's the
Priscilla's,
YouTuber.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Priscilla's
Sorry.
Lynn. She
Um,
wanted to take a break, and I think she's just playing Call of Duty with her friends.
Nice. Yeah, so Jorge would draw attention and say, yeah, cardiac arrest just means that your heart is stopped. So, yes, you are right in that you could say anyone died of cardiac arrest because your heart will stop if you die. But that's a good way to generalize it if you're confused or, if you wanted to hide it.
Especially 50 years ago, they didn't know as much stuff about everything, too. You could bring that up.
Right. And that's why I say that.
There was a whole lot wider range of than there is right now.
Right. Absolutely. So I'll say that.
Okay, so you go meet this guy at his house at noon.
Can I just look up the guy too, see if
Yes.
I can find anything on him?
He is a history teacher at UTEP, professor.
Oh.
He
Okay, so that.
is online a lot. He doesn't have a family. He's a 53-year-old man, doesn't have a family, never had a family. He has no dating profiles or anything online. It looks like he's just happy to be himself. He does buy a lot of things from different places that are selling like old books. He seems to like old books, but especially books on the occult. He's bought several things from eBay, several things from Amazon, several things from Craigslist. His money just seems to go into his habit, his hobby of learning occult stuff.
Etsy. Is he on Etsy?
Yeah, I don't really know what Etsy is, but I don't know, probably.
Etsy is like artisans and like craftspeople making like unique stuff. And
One thing
selling it
you
on
do notice is that he is not subscribed to any streaming TV.
Huh.
Interesting.
It is odd.
Unless he's using his family's account. No, his mother's dead. His father's dead. He has no siblings. It seems to be just him. Alright, you can share all that if you want.
Yeah, I mean Jasper.
Porn?
Jasper will tell him that he doesn't really have an online progress. He just likes buying occult stuff.
He is in some chat rooms and stuff where, he's in some official chat rooms where they talk about actual history with other professors. He seems to be specialized in both Texas and Mexican history, and Southwest American history, and Wild West American history. And then he's also in dozens of chats on occult stuff, where sometimes he's just trying to learn, and in a couple places he seems to be teaching.
Oh, I'm surprised he doesn't have a YouTube channel.
He does not have a YouTube channel. In fact, he doesn't have a YouTube account.
Oh. So yeah, we basically don't have much on him, except that he really, really likes the occult. That's pretty much it.
And history.
Yeah, let's
Is he into ghost
minimize
porn?
our.
He's not into. You don't see him with any kind of porn at all. No. Which is weird too. No big booty porn or nothing.
I don't know, man. I don't know if we could trust this guy with no big booty porn.
Can't trust him. Because if he doesn't like big butts, then he can lie.
Yeah,
Yep,
he sure can.
that's the truth right there.
All right. Well, you guys show up at his house. He has a house. It's a pretty small house. Like, it's probably just like a 2-bedroom house. It's really run down. The yard is a mess, even though it's winter and everything is dead. It looks like he hasn't mowed the lawn all year. Or watered it, really. It's mostly weeds and dead grass, but everything is dead. But it's quite obvious he doesn't take care of his yard or even his house. Paint is peeling. There is a car in the driveway. Let's see, what kind of car does this guy drive? He's gonna drive something.
Volkswagen.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's something economical and inexpensive. That's about 5 years old or 4 years old. Where maybe he's starting to look
Like one of
into
those
replacing
smart
it before
cars.
shit breaks. No, I don't think so. I think he's just got like an economy line of something American.
Okay.
Ford, what are those those little cars? The hybrids now, they got them.
He could have a
Ford
hybrid.
Focus.
Ford Focus
he
is
could have
what
a
I
PT
got. He
Cruiser.
could have a Ford Focus. He could have a PT Cruiser. Yeah, I mean, anyway, something like that, and it's not, it's just a few years old, and it's not expensive at all. But it's also
Hey,
not
we all
old,
took the Molly over there, right?
Say again?
Or did you want to split it, Jordan? Did you want to split us up into two cars? One group engage them, and the other group stay back.
Yeah, I basically, one group engage, the other group keep an eye out.
Or do you want to take
since
the
one of your
backup
4
group?
guys is just a fucking 3-pound hovering helicopter, that should probably be one of the lookouts.
For example.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can have
Drone could be on
Jordan stay
Overwatch.
outside. Oh yeah, Drone. Sorry, Jasper, not Jordan.
You guys like a lot of J's.
Yeah.
JJJS.
Yeah,
I'd like
'cause,
to. I think Jorge should go in and talk to him. And then Priscilla, I like the idea of having
Sarah.
her go in case her super good looks really, get him more talkative or wanting to help us more.
Priscilla's not here.
Unfortunately, Priscilla.
You don't
isn't
know
here.
what happened to her.
Oh.
She just left the hospital, said bye, and hasn't come back talking to you guys yet. She hasn't answered her phone.
Oh man.
Maybe she's dead.
I hope
Oh
not.
shit, they got her.
Damn. Yeah, that's a cause for alarm.
I
Yeah,
think
we
she's
don't
still
know.
posting stuff.
Yeah, that's
She
almost
posts stuff
investigation
all the
worthy.
time, so I
Really?
think she's still posting stuff.
Just got
Okay.
distracted.
Hmm.
All right, so I can go in with you, I guess.
Let's do it.
All right.
Okay. Do
What's his
not
name again?
ring
What's
the
his
bell.
name?
His name is Leonard. Leonard Mesker.
Mesker. Yeah. Oh, that's
MESKER.
right. I tried to remember it as like Wesker, the Resident Evil guy.
Mhm.
So Mesker.
Mesker.
Wesker with the W upside down.
Mhm.
That reminds
Hello,
me.
good sir.
I don't know why it just popped in my head. That reminds me of an episode of Married with Children where Kelly was alphabetizing the M&Ms and had half M's and half W's.
Oh gosh.
That's funny.
Okay.
Oh man.
No E's?
It's funny. Sometimes no, she didn't have any E's. I would have had her had E's too. I always thought that. Or threes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
threes.
That would have showed her even more being stupid if she had threes and was
Yeah,
counting
E
them
would
as
have
a
been
letter.
really funny. Threes and E's. Yeah, that would have been real funny.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys
All right,
knock or
I'm
ring
not
the
sure.
doorbell. Let's see what kind of person you are.
He does not wait. He doesn't what?
I want to know what kind of person you guys are. Do you knock or ring the doorbell?
I would
He
ring
does
the
not
doorbell.
have one of those new fancy doorbell camera things that like 90% of people have. He just has normal push button doorbell maintenance.
I don't have the doorbell thing either.
No. I mean, I deliver groceries, and yeah, like 90% of people have it now, at least in this area.
Really? Wow.
Yeah,
They even have them in apartments. They just kind of
yeah
like
they even
put
have
them
them
on
on
top.
apartments now. Yep.
I'm just too lazy to install it and then like monitor it and all that. So
Plus, it's like
I'm
$6
nah.
a month. When at least the last time someone came and wanted to sell it to me, it was $6 a month. I'm like, I'm not giving you $6 a month to have a fucking doorbell. I have a doorbell.
Yeah, especially I live like on the third floor. So whenever somebody rings that front doorbell, I just walk out onto the patio and look down.
Oh, you got like a Seinfeld
Security doorbell rant.
Seinfeld apartment building where you have to push
It's
it
a
and get buzzed in.
condo. I live in a condos and it's like another. It's a 3-story building, and then so like somebody rings the front door to the condo. It's either us or the second floor that they're looking for, and I just walk out on the patio and say, "Yes, can I help you?" And if it's like somebody trying to solicit, I'm just like, "Nope, sorry, want to go," and then I shut the patio door behind me.
There you go.
And they go, "But wait!" I'm like,
But
"Nope."
wait, there's more.
There's more.
Yeah, you don't need one of those doorbell cameras either. Okay.
I am the doorbell camera. I look
You are
out
the
there.
doorbell camera. Okay. Well, you guys gonna ring the door or knock the door?
Jorge rang the doorbell.
Yeah, I'll ring the doorbell.
Okay. It just
Ring
rings
it.
normal. Ding dong. That's all. Just a normal ass ding dong from inside. And
I don't wanna hear
it
about
takes
his
about
dong.
30 seconds, and he opens the door. And what you see is an extremely skinny. He comes off as tall, but he's really not that tall. He's just like 5'11", 6 feet. But
Lanky.
He seems taller just because he's so damn thin. The guy probably only weighs like 150 pounds. And he's wearing,
To that.
yeah, he's
So these guys are gonna
wearing
get along.
a like brown suit with the patches on the elbows and a bow tie. And
Tweed
got-
vest.
yeah, tweed
Oh
vest.
my gosh.
Yeah. Ah, come in,
Nice.
come in. It's so rare that I get visitors. Come inside. Oh, it's just
Jorge
the two
keeps
of you. She
a
said there
very
was-
pleasant smile on his
She said
face.
there was a bunch
And
coming in. Yeah, you're gonna judge him. He seems open, but yeah, make a insight roll. If you
Hold on,
get
me.
5 successes, you recognize secret vampire.
Insight, you said?
Are we in the
It's going to be
daytime?
wits and insight.
I have 0 for insight, but I do have some wits, so let me.
Do I get any kind of modifier because if I'm really rolling for something like that, or I don't know if you were kidding, but just using my
No.
medical skills.
No.
Or what do you want us to roll? I'm sorry. What are
Wits
the
and
skills?
insight.
Wits and insight.
Wits and insight. So then, just checking, but could I use medicine instead of insight if I'm really rolling for
Not
something
if
like
you're
that?
wanting to judge his personality. Only if you're wanting to judge if he's a walking corpse. Then you can roll.
Oh.
This is
Wits-
the
wits
daytime
and
when we're
medicine.
visiting him.
Yeah. He would be a daytime walking corpse, but he did not step out in the sun.
It's weird because I don't think like a doctor is like. It's not like he's gonna actively try to diagnose this guy, but he also like the things that the doctor would
Yeah,
pay
it's not
attention
not
to.
recognized by insight though. So yeah, if you want to roll medicine, that's fine. It's
Okay.
just it's not going to tell you his personality or state of mind, but you can do both.
Yeah, you
Okay,
don't know who he
I'll just
was
do both.
before.
Okay, I'll do both.
Okay.
So insight and wits, right?
Mm-hmm.
For the first one, that's 4 successes,
Well, it's 4 successes.
and then on the medicine one, would that be wits and medicine
Yes.
or intelligence and medicine?
No,
Either it
it's
doesn't matter.
wits.
They're both the
It's
same.
wits.
I mean,
It's
I
not-
have
intelligence is pretty much sitting down and studying stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
I have
intelligence
awareness.
is mostly going to be a sitting down and taking time kind of thing. Wits is
Okay, I got 4
wits
on both.
is more. When we play Changeling, both of these rolls will be perception based. Perception, we drop resolve and gain perception as a mental attribute. Okay. So yeah, you got 4 in both then. That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I only got 1 and 2, so.
So we'll start with Sarah with your 2 successes. You didn't roll insight though. You rolled awareness.
Well, I rolled insight and I got 1 success.
Okay. So yeah, with 1 success, yeah, he seems like a nice old dude who's very welcoming to his place. With 4 successes in medicine, he seems like a perfectly skinny, maybe a little malnourished adult male with like not vampire.
Dragon out there.
Yeah, you hear him. And with 4 in your insight, you think that he is nervous about having people in his house and is trying to deal with it by being nice and happy. He's putting up a front to be nice and happy, but is actually kind of nervous having people here.
Well, Jorge is going to keep full court press on the charm.
Okay.
Like very, very polite, trying to, win him over, very appreciative of
Go
his
ahead and roll
time.
that. Go ahead and roll that for me.
What's that?
Charisma and persuasion.
Oh, okay.
And this is basically just you could use appearance if that's higher than charisma. You can use appearance.
Oh no, my charisma is 4.
Okay. Yeah, that's appearance doesn't go higher than 4 in this game. I don't know if you have 2 or 4. You got 1. Oh, what it does is
2.
add to it, doesn't it? In this game, it adds to it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I believe so.
Add 2 to the roll. Charisma and persuasion, and add 2.
Okay, that's good. I got 3 in persuasion, so
nice.
Let's go dice.
And this is basically like a first impression roll, you know?
Yeah, I got 4 successes.
Cool. Yeah. See, talking to you he seems to let his guard down a little bit and feel a little bit better as he invites you. Go to insight. So, Letty told me that you guys are writing a book and are looking for a monster, and you want to have it be as accurate as possible to the lore. Is that right?
Yes, we haven't settled on exactly what monster that we've picked yet. What we have are more ideas for the story, and just kind of the powers that we would like the creature to have. Um, and in describing it, we found we've. I think the easy answer is the creature, the vampire. We were looking to see if you had
Oh,
any other ideas.
Bram Stoker.
That was our initial thought, and maybe I should, maybe like Bram Stoker, right? Bram Stoker's creature. We don't want to do anything like gimmicky, or I'd like to try to stay as true to the lore so it has a realistic feel. And
Yeah, it's just the
frankly,
vampire is kind of overdone. We just want to make sure we're not missing something.
Okay. Well, yeah,
and
that's great.
frankly,
I
your
have
book.
a lot of tomes for you to look through, and I'm sure you'll find something interesting. I am quite the collector. And he leads you through his living room, which has like a really old style couch. Like he bought a couch in the 80s and it still has it, and it hasn't even been sat in that often. And then he has a newer overstuffed chair, not like a fancy lazy boy lounge chair or anything. It's like an upright overstuffed chair, and there's a reading lamp next to it and a couple of books on a little table next to the lamp. And there is no TV in here at all. And he leads you through that room and into a bedroom, which he has turned into a library, and it has books along all the walls, and it has rows of books in the middle of the room. And it also has stacks of books
You're an
on the
avid reader.
ground, and it has boxes and file cabinets that are full of things that aren't books. So this is my treasure. Okay, so
A kindred soul. Thank you.
Oh.
This place looks wonderful.
No,
we
this
we
is like
we knew when we read your book how how intelligent and dedicated to your area of expertise you are. So this is impressive, but probably along the lines of what I expected and brilliance.
I kind of just turn on my academics and I just say, "Wow, this is how many years did this take you?"
Oh, I've been collecting this stuff for I don't know since I was in my early 20s. Somewhere in my early 20s. I got really my inspiration is occult immortality. All of the different legends and different ways of achieving. Of course, none of them have turned out to be real, of course. But there's so many stories. Did you know you could get immortality by eating the flesh of a mermaid?
No.
A lot of people don't know that. But of course, there aren't very many mermaids around here, so I haven't been able to test that. Okay, well, tell
Now,
me.
out of curiosity, since you mentioned mermaids, are they all right? So, are the mermaids in this lore? Are they sentient like humans, or are they more like animalistic, like the
Yeah,
like
I
the
haven't
monkey
met one,
one?
and I've seen them talked about in both ways. I've seen them talked about where they're they look like a lady but they talk like a fish, and then I've seen them where they're manipulative and evil, and they have the entrancing voice with that makes the sailors walk off the ship because they want to go be with the mermaids. You know, there's a lot of different stories, and that's pretty much the case with every creature that you come up with. There are a lot of different stories, a lot of different versions. Maybe they're not even the same creature, and they're just similar enough that we're putting the same labels on them. So, tell me about this creature, the powers that you're wanting it to have, and maybe I can help you find a book or tome.
It's so definitely human looking.
Human
Somebody
looking.
that
Okay.
appears somebody that appears to be human, but maybe under our body heat signature non-existent.
No
So
body
cold
heat
blood.
signature. Cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Okay.
And possessing a
Um,
lot of strength.
But with a lot of strength. Like a
Yeah, to the
like
point where they
Frankenstein.
can beat probably, if not even more, because
Okay.
what we
Yeah,
were
but not stiff.
imagining was breaking down, like, I mean, just literally busting open steel doors and
Oh wow.
making people go splat.
Okay.
But with
You're
but with
talking
like a
like
like
superhero strength then.
Yeah, just
right,
about.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But not stiff like Frankenstein. Somebody that can move in an agile, human-like way,
Okay. Okay.
but with that superhero strength. Right.
And always be appearing to have some kind of an inner conflict.
Okay.
Um, I want to say their body patterns are human-like, but almost like it's again with the cold-bloodedness. It's like if you really peel back, probably doesn't work the same as human, but is good at imitating human qualities.
Okay.
So you'd have to really you'd have to really try hard to notice that something's off about them.
You know, your description sounds a lot of Dracula, except for that excessive strength factor.
Oh, Dracula wasn't that strong?
Not, not like superhero strength, like ripping through steel. But I don't know. We've got some things. Why don't we make a day of it? I don't have any more classes for the rest of the day, and we can pour through things, and we'll make sure we find you the exact right creature for your story.
I love it.
Okay,
Let's get to work.
let's have the both of you make me an intelligence and research check. It's going to be intelligence and academics.
Could I use a Colt instead of academics?
Yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah.
can.
Thanks.
I got 4.
Okay.
2 for me.
Okay. All right. How many successes do you have on that occult check? Oh wait, you did. You guys didn't get to 4. Letty did. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I already used that. So okay. So you're going through it. Most of your, you guys are in here for hours, and you're pouring through things. You're pouring through books. You start pouring through older and older books, and you're also going through not only books but periodicals that that he's got, and microfiche periodicals. He's got the microfiche reader thing that I haven't seen in 40 years.
That is awesome.
And let's see. So Sarah does find some handwritten notes that are in a folder. These are from their local from 1860. And after you read through them, then, this was something to stop and show to Jorge. So these are notes from a priest in 1860, El Paso. After a family was murdered, there were no wounds, and the bodies were completely drained of blood. But no wounds, no punctures. There's no place that the blood escaped from. An entire family was killed. No blood inside of them. He reported this to his bishop, and 3 days later, he was visited by a man from the Vatican. And keep in mind that there's no way someone from the Vatican could get here in 3 days. It doesn't say that, but you know that. Not in 1860. He had to have been close. There wasn't even a railroad coming here yet.
Is there any mention of Saint Leopold? As remember, Jorge has a background with the Catholic Church, and
I'm not sure yet.
and
One of these
him starting to
does.
hear
I'm
a
not
little-
sure if it's in the 4 Success one. I'll get to that. Was visited by a man from the Vatican. he claimed to be employed by the church, but that he was no longer a priest. And he asked questions about the killings, about the family that was killed, and about their town. And the priest told him all about the murders. The priest told him about the stranger that was visiting town and had been visiting for just 2 days before the murder, before the murders, about about the stranger who the stranger only comes out at night, and he is tended to by several assistants. Then the assistants will come out during the day. The man from the church said that there was a predator among them. This man went into the inn, killed the assistants. He shot them. He shot the assistants, and then he went to the stranger who was asleep and cut off his head. Before the sheriff could he didn't seek the sheriff's help. He went and did all this on his own, and he left town before the sheriff could have him arrested. He didn't have anything to say after. He asked questions about it, and then he went into the inn, killed the guy's, shot the guy's attendants, and then removed his head and left. And that's what the notes say. That's all the notes say. I mean, this guy has written other,
Said he went in
other
during the
stuff,
daytime?
He went in during the daytime.
This is actually a pretty good idea for that book. What do you think, Jorge?
I believe this is exactly the kind of thing we were looking for. Do you have more like this?
I don't know.
It doesn't really say.
I mean,
It doesn't really say what it is, but
I have, I have a lot of things that are similar to this, and he goes through stuff, and like 30 minutes later he comes back. So this we need to be really careful with, and he puts it down on the table, and he gets a letter opener, and he starts turning pages with the letter opener. This is a very old text. It's written in, and he tells you, so this was written by a monk in, as near as I can tell, 15th century, and it's in Latin. Either of you read Latin?
I don't know. Do I? What does an academics of 3 get me?
I don't know.
I think you'd have to have the language skill, but
Yeah, I think you have to have the language skill, but I'll let you.
the basic
Roll.
Latin is taught in a lot of liberal arts colleges.
There's Google Translate.
There's Google Translate.
Well-
Roll a die.
Well,
I will give you a 30% chance to know Latin. If you roll a 8, 9, or 10. If not,
Nope.
he does anyway. Okay, so now you guys are taking his word for it, where you can use Google Translate. Okay, so he's reading over it, and he's not touching it. He's using his letter opener to turn pages, and the pages are creaking and crunching. So it says, villagers have been attacked by a creature of the night who feeds on their blood. The Knights of St. Leopold torched the town to prevent the curse from spreading, but captured one of the beasts. They tortured it for weeks.
Wait. I'm sorry. Could you go back to that part about St. Leopold?
Yeah, okay. So it says that the Knights of St. Leopold torched the town where this creature was caught. But this creature had been feeding on the peasants. And the Knights of St. Leopold captured the creature, but they burned the town. And everybody in it. To keep the curse from spreading. And they had the creature for a few weeks. It says the creature was hard to kill, and once it was extinguished, a single drop of blood to his lips restored it to the vile monster that it was previously. The sun burned its flesh. It feared fire. Locking eyes with the creature could turn a capable knight into its slave. and only beheading the knight was able to set him free. And eventually they killed the monster by beheading it, and when they beheaded it, it turned to dust. This sounds quite a bit like Bram Stoker's Dracula,
That does.
4 centuries early.
So, did you say that the only way to so this thing could take over, manipulate something just by looking at it?
Yeah, that's what they claim. That's what this monk says. That's what he
But
wrote in the notes.
and he wrote that the only way to break that spell was to decapitate the person that was possessed, or
Well,
what?
I mean, maybe they just like decapitation. Maybe they could have killed him. I don't know. It says that they decapitated him.
No. I mean the knight. Like, so
Yes,
if the
it
knight
says that
gets
they decapitated the knight who became the creature's slave.
okay. Hmm. Now, before you said there were different versions of these different creatures. Are there different versions of
Of this,
vampires?
I mean, assuming that this is a vampire. I don't know. I'm very interested in this now. Give me a little bit more time. And he goes and he starts digging through some other stuff.
This is
About
quite the
this
rabbit hole.
time, Jordan will be like texting them to see if they're okay because they've been in there a while.
Are you guys still alive?
This is quite the rabbit hole.
Alive or dead?
Jorge would text back. We're learning a lot. This is going well.
All right.
Okay, how about this? It's been like another hour. And he comes, he has another old tome that he puts down and he's opening it with the letter open. This is a leather-bound book, and it seems to be written in blood, inked in blood. In Latin, again. This is from about the same time, about the 15th century. And it says, leaders of the creatures of the night, the Ventru, the cursed kindred, the spawn of Cain, after being cursed by God for the murder of his brother Abel. The curse gives them the strength of 10 men and the fortitude to resist swords and arrows. With a look, they make men kneel, and a wave of their hand can change a man's memories. Their only weakness is the light of God, either by fire or by the holy light of the sun itself. If encountering this creature, it is only the light of God that can protect you. And that's all it has on this. This is a book on monsters from the 15th century that was written by a monk.
Can I take a picture of this with my
Yes.
phone? No flash, of course.
Yes.
This is actually really, really good. Have you ever thought of scanning all these in to an image database so that way you can have them
Wouldn't have
protected if the worst happens?
I mean, I could, but I like old books. If it comes down to my real reason, it's because I like old books. And I like the personal touch of, somebody wrote this by hand. 500-600 years ago, somebody wrote this by hand. And I think it's inked in blood. I haven't had it checked, but I think it's inked in blood. I don't know if it's inked in his blood or somebody's blood or the blood of a goat. But
have you ever seen Iron Gall ink? It could have this look too. It's awesome. Iron Gall ink. It could have this look too.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, I think that is about all I can find. If you guys are wanting to go with a vampire, I think this Ventru may be the best creature you can go to if you want to stay accurate to the lore. And we can use, I have the monk's name here that wrote this. You can use him in your, in your notes as to who to give credit for the source.
Okay.
This is amazing. We have research assistants that help out. They are affiliated with my church, the Church of the Seventh Trumpet, which I am the pastor. And
Oh, nice.
I was wondering, do we actually have the capability to have them come here and scan the lore, not having to actually touch the paper? And I mean, would you, if we sent them here, would you allow us to scan the relevant pages to the
Make me
vampire?
make me a charisma and persuasion roll.
Yeah, and I also say, and in exchange, if you would agree to this, maybe I can float a little donation your way toward expanding your library.
Oh, okay.
We
Yeah,
have
still
resources
go
to
ahead
do
and make
that.
the roll.
Okay, what's the
Charisma and
what is
persuasion.
it? Okay, and can I get a
That's-
bonus for the bribe?
It lowered your difficulty.
Okay,
You need 3. Oh,
I
that's right.
got
You got
3.
Willpower.
So
No, he said I needed to.
no more than 2 people, and only while I'm here to supervise them.
Of
But-
course,
But we
whatever
can,
whatever
can
you're
work that out,
comfortable.
and I think it's going to take a while to create a digital backup of all of my neat stuff. But yeah, we can do that.
I mean, well, I'd want them to specialize in the vampire stuff for now. If you
Okay.
would like to reduce everything to, like, if you want to take all your lore and have them back it up, we can make that a working project. But that would, obviously that
Okay,
would take
well,
a
yeah,
long
we
time.
can. We can. I mean, I don't even know if we want to call this vampire. I mean, that's kind of Bram Stoker's word. What this guy called it, the
Venture?
cursed kindred, the spawn of
Cursed.
Cain. That's what this
So what
monk
is the
called it. And the
what is the
previous
venture?
one, the monk called it just the creatures of the night.
So we said the word venture at one point. What is the
Yes,
venture?
actually, yes. This one is labeled the Ventru. So we could call them the Ventru. And I can search for other papers that are similar to this.
Absolutely. Anything that you could provide, we would love to do that. And then obviously, if and when when we're able to, if we can make this, we're trying to do something cohesive. We want to do this right, so we're not trying to rush. I mean, we're approaching it with a certain sense of urgency, but we cannot publish until we are sure that this is faithful to the lore and is a product that we can be proud of. So
Yeah,
right now, we
that's
want to
really
take
great.
all
I
the time
really
possible.
appreciate that. Not enough fiction writers want to pay that much attention to the lore. They just, they get started with an idea and then they just let themselves get carried away with it until the thing that they're talking about isn't even resemble the thing that they started with. So
Exactly. This is a passion project for us, so we are willing to take the time to do it right.
Yes.
And our goal is to have someone like you read it and say, you know what, this is a faithful work and well done. They've done their research.
I'm looking forward to it.
So what was the name of the monk?
other thing.
What was the name of what?
The monk?
Oh,
Did he
I
say
don't
it
know.
yet?
Monk A.
Okay. Monk A.
It's not really relevant.
Monkey Munker Pants?
He's gonna have some kind of like monk name from 15th century.
Gregorio.
Yeah. Yeah, he's Monk Gregorio.
Francis.
Sure.
Francis Gregorio.
Okay, yeah. Francis Gregorio. We'll write that down.
Right.
Francis Gregorio. Which monk was this one? Was this from the Ventru thing or from the
Where they
Knights
torched
of
the town, right?
Gold thing? 'Cause those were 2 different monks.
So that was the other thing I was going to ask him about before we leave.
Okay. What's that?
Whenever you're ready, let's wrap this. I mean, let's
Yeah.
cover what you're covering now. But whenever we're
I'm just
ready.
taking a note on there in case I decide I want to use that monk's name for something later.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, what else did you want to ask me?
So also we're looking for either we're trying to solidify our protagonist in the matter.
Okay.
And or maybe a third party, maybe second antagonist. I'm not really sure yet. But I'm interested in this society, Saint Leopold. I was for a while I was a devout Catholic, and I heard something about a Saint Leopold in my studies, and I'm wondering, well, I'd like to know more
That's
about.
interesting because that gives a little bit more credit to the other paper that I read, that I found for you guys. What do you know about the Knights of Saint Leopold or the Society of Saint Leopold?
Very little, just that they were, basically the good versus evil aspect of religion is where they focused. They were the actual, I guess, the knights is a good word, right? They were the militant. I don't know. I don't know much. Just the snippets of what I heard, but they were more of the knights of the Catholic Church in fighting the battle between good and evil.
Okay.
And which what I think would fit nicely into our book.
Yeah. I'll do what I can to see what I find on that too.
Thank
Yeah,
you. That would be
maybe-
so helpful.
I don't know how much. A lot of my stuff has been due to my obsession with immortality legends, so I don't know what I'll find. But we may find other stories of the Knights of Saint Leopold, killing other monsters or something. I'll go through it. I like having a project to go through my stuff.
Thank you so much. And I'm just curious, are your studies limited to immortality achieved through a cult, or do you also study immortality potentially achieved through scientific measures?
Oh no, through a cult. I know that we're probably not gonna get there in my time, but honestly, I'm not looking for immortality myself. I was caught up in the idea of it when I've always been fascinated with history, especially with the local history around here and the like Wild West, the Southwest, and the banditos and the gunfights, the gunfighters, of all that time. And when I was a young man, I met a man who was the spitting image of a gunfighter from the 1860s called the Gentleman. And when I talked to this man about it, he said that he was actually a descendant of the Gentleman. But to me, the appearance was so uncanny that I still think it's possible it's him. So I've that really got me started into it. And as soon as I got started, I kind of just got hooked on the idea.
Out of curiosity, what's the name of the descendant of the gentleman?
James Clark.
Interesting.
He's a big time philanthropist and art collector in town.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, do we know? By the way, this is out of character. Because I want to be careful not to use the out of character knowledge that we have. But
Right.
what are our characters at this point? Is this like kicking in a connection in any way?
James Clark owns the mansion
that we know is associated with this man in gray.
that you guys have
Right.
tracked things to the mansion 3 times so far.
But we would definitely recognize the name once he brings them up. But I'm even wondering if asking the question out of curiosity is that fair? Is that like
It's up to you.
he says?
I mean, you didn't
What's
ask
that?
him any. He just wanted to start talking about it. So
Oh, cool. So
Yeah.
then all right. So when he says James, then that really clicks something for
That
us
does click
immediately. Like,
something, yeah.
oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't we actually see him?
Yes.
you do not
Because
know
he was
who
talking
you
to
saw.
Jack.
I mean, I guess if
Oh, okay.
You saw 3 people, and one of them was the man in gray, who you are now starting to label Ortiz. One of them was her father, but she didn't tell you that.
Yeah.
And one of them was Prince James, and you guys don't know that. But you do have
Okay.
images if you want to start running image searches. Then you can get the names for all 3 people.
Right.
And you will find out that that is Sarah's father. So it's up to you if you want to
It
run
makes
those
sense that
images.
Jasper would do that, right?
Yeah, probably.
Well, I would probably pull up like a picture of James Clark just to kind of verify that that's. I was like, okay, that's
Yeah,
interesting,
that's
and then
him.
pull up it. And
Yeah,
okay,
that's him. He's a big name in the I mean, he doesn't actually run any politics himself, but he's a big name in the politics of the city, and he helps with a lot of the stuff. And he's a very big art collector, especially in like Wild West collections, like revolvers and gunfight paraphernalia, things like that. He kind of runs the same circle as I do. That's how I met him. He's a really nice gentleman.
is he is? Okay, yeah, I was gonna ask what he's like in person.
He's very friendly, very nice. I only met him the one time, and that was, I don't know, 30 years ago. He still looks the same, though, which is kind of adding to my thinking that he's the gentleman.
Well, wait, so do vampires? Do these? What are we calling them? Kindred souls,
Ventrue?
kindred demon, or Ventrue, right?
Yeah,
Do
Venture,
these Ventrue then?
cursed kindred,
Do they age?
spawn of Cain.
Are they?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
Do you not know like what their normal lifespan is? Is there any kind of?
No, I have to.
you know,
I'm gonna have to do a lot more research on that, and there might not even be any record of it. The records that we found are more like monks that are recording the situation when these guys were captured. And a lot of these works, especially from that time period, you know, they're locked in Vatican vaults. We're really lucky that any of these papers have made their way to me. That means that they never got locked in the vault. Somehow they didn't make it there.
This
'Cause
is
the
one
Vatican
heck of
doesn't
an
let go
incredible
of this
collection.
stuff. They keep it forever. Especially if these what the St. Leopold, the Society of St. Leopold, if it's still around, then yeah, they're probably keeping all of these records for themselves for their own reference and research. I mean, I would.
I can tell you, sir, if in full candor, anytime that name came up in the Catholic Church, around the people I was around, people got very hushed. So I would just be discreet in any research you're doing on that,
Okay.
because you might find doors
I
get
don't want to draw
slammed shut.
attention, right? Yeah, or get doors slammed shut.
No, I mean it's like we're writing a book here, but and we would really appreciate it just for in terms of people swooping in and maybe trying to duplicate our work or ruin it. If you could please be discreet about what we're working on and not mention us, but just in general, I would say that I was taken aback by when that name was mentioned, how weird people started acting. So I don't know much of it. That's why I know very little about it. But that seems to be one of those subjects that you don't just nonchalantly.
If you're a bunch of monster killing knights and have been for 600 years, then maybe you're some scary people, right?
So then, do you believe in the truth of these things? I know you're researching the occult of it.
There's a grain of truth to everything.
That's fair.
But I wouldn't say that I think that there was a Dracula that attacked this town. But I'll tell you that I'm pretty sure this monk witnessed the capture and torture of this guy that they thought was a Dracula, or they thought was a something.
I'll tell you what, sir. I mean, if you think about it, today we have tech billionaires that have discovered that they hire these young 20-something-year-olds who are very healthy, and they do blood transfusions like twice a week, and they figured out that using their blood, their young blood, it actually like reinvigorates them. It delivers oxygen to all parts of their body easier and stuff. And they believe that as a viable way of them feeling younger and having all this extra energy. So what if this kind of thought was actually discovered way back in that time?
Maybe they've been doing it
and
for
you had
hundreds of years.
you had rich gentlemen that were doing blood
could very well
transfusions.
be the truth to the vampire legends.
Yeah, and then people around town just see
feeding
these
on blood, but they're still feeding in a way.
right. And especially back then, if you don't have a scientific explanation, and you see
Right.
people see, a young person
and
going into the home
especially
of
if
this
they're-
older rich
if they're-
guy, and
Yeah, if they're killing this young person, then that's going to start terror and
maybe a few of them. Maybe a few of them died accidentally.
I bet
but
we
in any
just
case, they're
stumbled on.
financially dependent.
Yeah, I bet we just stumbled on a lot of the legend lore behind some of these things. I bet we did. I'm gonna look into that.
In any case, it's super fascinating, and for a fictional book. I mean, our fictional book. In all truth, we're not looking to give a mundane explanation, although nothing's off the table. But
I mean,
we
it's
are
good
looking
to have
for
at
the
least enough mundane explanation that that people can relate to it, right?
lore. Right.
Yeah.
But we are looking for something supernatural in this case that is evil. It's a servant of evil. And are these Ventru servants of evil, to your knowledge?
I mean, well, it certainly seems so. The cursed kindred, the spawn of Cain, they can only be destroyed by the holy light of the sun itself. That sounds.
It sure sounds evil.
Yeah.
I think this is what we're looking
Yeah.
for. And so then we're also going to be interested if we can, in being true to the powers and character, the lore of the evil character. Then we also want to make sure that we're well versed on how to defeat it. It sounds like you said fire and sunlight. Maybe if you can find anything else, other things like
if the
decapitation.
if the Ventru is the same creature as the Knights of Leopold caught in that other text, then they said that it was afraid of fire. They didn't say if they burned it. All it mentioned was that it was afraid of fire, and that the sun burnt it. So that could be, it should be the same creature. But they
said they went in and decapitated it in the daytime, right?
Yes.
In the daytime,
Well, they just
and they killed its gardens.
he goes and he pulls that because he didn't put it back yet, and he's looking through it. It just says that beheading it turned it to dust.
Yeah.
Good to know.
And then, if this is the same creature as the local priest wrote in that town, in our town in 1860, he's supposed to have just gone in there and killed its attendants and then killed it while it was sleeping.
Yeah, but it just
So
said
the-
he cut his head off. It didn't say he turned to dust right then and there.
Right? No, it did. It was not reported. It doesn't mean that it didn't happen, but it was not reported. He didn't write that in the text that it turned to dust. He did write that that priest or not priest then had to flee town with the sheriff who's chasing him.
As we're writing this book too, I think one of the big things that makes it extra thrilling is that this creature can masquerade as a human. So
Right.
one of the things that we're probably looking for, like a good like a plot twist at some point, is if you can find in your lore ways to discover that the thing is not human, ways to flush it out and identify it for what it is. And like we're doing here, right? Like we want the character to be able to not only realize, hey, you're not human, but also go through this, well, then what are you? And so are there any defining characteristics that would set this thing aside from other possible beings that we would know for sure
I mean,
this
it
is
isn't in any
a
of these
Ventru?
texts, but if we're dealing with a Dracula, then didn't it not reveal itself in mirrors? I haven't read Dracula in so many years.
Right. No, that's exactly the kind of thing we're looking for. But again, because Dracula is it's the seminal, like, popular thing, and I just want to make sure that we want to do like if people look at Dracula as the Hollywooded type of version. We want this to be
The real.
they did the
version.
right. So anything you could find in terms of
I
that
don't
as
know.
well,
I wonder
just
if they
identifying it.
if they float or sank when they did the witch test. I'm gonna see if I have anything on that. Maybe
Excellent.
because I have quite a few texts on witch tests with the water dunking, and maybe if I find something in there, maybe I'll find something that relates to this. I mean, a lot of those were just innocent people, but maybe I'll find something that will point that maybe that person was one of these cursed kindred.
That'd be interesting. Maybe in the book we write something where the wrong person is identified as a Ventru or a cursed kindred, and then we can compare what one should look for versus what one shouldn't. So this is amazing. Thank you. You're making our book better already.
All right.
Heck
Well,
yeah.
I'm glad to help. If you guys need any other help, then you just let me know. Here, and he gives you his card.
Thank you so much. And I will tell you just one little concern between us here, but we've looked at other authors who have put books like this out before, and bad things tend to happen to them afterwards. So please, discretion is something that you should really hold tight here. I don't, just in case. I don't know what the truth is to that, but
Okay, I will. Especially with this Society of Saint Leopold. I mean, if that's real, I mean, after 500
Right.
years of burning a whole village because there was one creature, who knows what kind of people they would have become by now.
Yeah, I'm just more worried about your book collection. If the wrong people. Yeah, we got to be careful.
Yeah.
Which is even more why I need to get our research assistants over here ASAP and try to commit some of this stuff to electronic backup so that nobody can ever erase your work. We have a technological genius that works with us that's really good at making sure there are backups of backups and that it's secure.
Yeah, let's work on that. That would be great. I mean, I've known this whole time that I should get it done. It just, like I said, I like the feel and the closeness of the old papers and the old books. But and then there's also, I just don't have time. I mean, I'm more interested in learning stuff than protecting it. I know that sounds kind of stupid, but I mean,
not at all.
If
I get
we
it.
can get it protected with with little time cost, then I'm all for that.
I mean, and plus the benefit is that once we've committed it to, once we have it electronically, then searches become so much easier, right?
Oh yes.
You can do text searches like keywords.
Oh yes, for sure. That would be great. Okay. Anything else I can do?
Well, thank you so much for your time. No, you have been so helpful. We appreciate you so much.
Okay.
Well, and I'll have my people reach out to you, and we'll talk about that donation and how we can best make it help you develop what you want to develop.
Okay, that would be great. Maybe we can build a second floor, and we can expand the library.
Sounds like a plan.
I mean, I don't know what kind of. We can talk about it later. But I mean, it is a little bit cramped in here. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let me see you out. And he leads you towards the door.
Okay. Follow him out.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you for coming. It was great meeting you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You shake his hand, I guess.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he shakes your hand. And before the door.
Does his hand seem cold?
No. Kind of clammy.
Clammy, but not. It does. Right. Okay.
And before
the only reason I'm asking is just because you made the joke before.
Before he even gets the door closed all the way, you can see him visibly relaxing that his company is gone and he's by himself again. You just, you get that for
Right.
the half second before the door closes. He's relieved. I mean, he didn't hate it, but he's still relieved that he can be by himself again.
He's a
Fine, I get
recluse.
All right. So let's go someplace where we can debrief.
Sounds good. Let's get with the gang. How about back to the? You want to go back to the bookstore, or you want to head to? I mean, we could go back to my church, just in case I got a couple people there.
You can go back to
Um,
Smokey
you know, a
House.
couple of my-
What's closest?
What-
I don't know.
I don't think we've been to his church yet.
Okay, yeah. Let's go to the
Well,
church.
and this way, if I run into a couple of my helpers, I can start to brief them and get them to make a call over to him, and just start setting it up.
Well, it's already pushing like 7 in the evening, so you probably don't have anybody there. Unless you want somebody there. If you ask somebody to be there, they'll be there.
Let's we'll meet first, develop a plan, and then I'll debrief. Afterwards, I'll call the other people. I'll call 2 people, brief them on what I want done that week, instruct them to set up this meeting with this gentleman and Mr. Mesker and start transcribing
I don't
anything
think
that he
even
says.
really
as well.
needs to happen on camera. Just the
Nope.
fact that we know
Right.
it's happening is good.
Right.
Okay, so yeah, you guys are at the church, like in some side room, probably got a pizza or something, and you can talk and decide what you're gonna do, so that I know where to take the next session.
Okay. Well, gang, I mean, we need to confirm, but it sounds like we're dealing with what is identified as either a Ventru or a cursed kindred, or what was the other name he used for it?
Sons of Cain.
Venture.
Sons of
Yeah,
Cain.
Descendants of
Cain, Descendants of
Yeah.
Cain, something like that.
Yeah.
Spawn of Cain.
Oh, okay. Spawn of Cain.
Sounds even more ominous.
Yeah.
So basically a vampire.
Cain sounds
And it's-
familiar.
Yeah, Cain is in Cain and Abel, and apparently they were descended from the vampires. They were descended from Cain. So we're basically dealing with Bram Stoker's monster.
I never went to church,
Dracula.
dude.
Okay. Cain and Abel, 2 biblical brothers. They were one of the first people on Earth, or 2 of the first people on Earth. They were brothers, and Cain killed his brother Abel. And just known as one of the great betrayals in biblical history. But so anyway, so I mean, you're familiar with the movie Dracula, and vampires that were brought up before by Letty.
Okay.
This is the creature that we're probably dealing with, a blood drinking thing that can masquerade as a human. Possesses strength. He seems to think Bram Stoker's version doesn't match with that, but possibly mind control powers. And what else? Feeds on blood. Anything else I'm forgetting?
The sun burns it.
Sun.
yeah,
How to kill it is another story. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah, afraid of fire, afraid of sun. So
Beheading.
now I guess we
kill
all
it by
get lighter.
beheading it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
beheading.
Torches, maybe. Let's not do tiki torches, though. Something about that.
And also, according to the knights, if anybody gets ensorcelled, you can get ensorcelled just by looking in his eyes, and if you get ensorcelled, the only way to stop it is to take off your head. According to the Knights of St. Leopold in 1500.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I bring up the St. Leopold thing. Now, guys, I these St. Leopold, when I was in the Catholic Church and I was searching for answers, and then I was heavy into the battle of good and evil, and they were kind of grooming me for who knows what, ascension and in somehow dealing with whatever they were doing on the side in their secret societies. And this name came up, and the way it was alluded to was like they were Even knights or army doesn't seem to. It was almost the connotation was like just the sense I got in my it was more like almost like a something to be feared. And so the name was whispered in hushed tones. I only heard it a few times, and maybe that was part of what led to the rift between me and that church. Is me asking questions directly about it. I think maybe that might have been where they walled up on me. But if this society is what anything like what he described in the book, I mean, these were guys that were kind of like Catholic assassins came in to fight this monster, and then anybody that had to do with the monster came in contact with it, they slaughtered an entire village in the name of God. So just beware that there may be other forces at play here if it is this kind of creature.
Do you think this what could have been the FBI agents that tried to take me? They were very
yeah. What's that?
I said,
Well, usually when there's one group, there's usually another. So it doesn't necessarily mean that they're the same thing, just similarly interested. I mean, look at us.
yeah, but we're not about to like shake somebody down just for trying to find things out.
Yet.
That's what I was thinking. Give us a few months.
Well, no, honestly, come on. Are we gonna have a surveillance worm to find out like who is going to search humanoids that don't have body heats and then go shake them down and try to take them into custody? It's too much, man.
Well, from what I hear, they didn't exactly follow protocol.
That's what's even more scary. Maybe they were following protocol. But definitely, I think that you raise a good point in that we don't want to become the very thing that we don't want to become monsters in the course of fighting monsters.
Yeah.
Nietzsche.
And we also have to be careful not to create a power vacuum. What's the scariest monster of all?
Nietzsche spoke of the scariest monster of all, man.
The Ubermensch.
But
got it.
Not quite what I was going for.
It's all right.
Just
I'm gonna have to go to work tomorrow, even though I'm not planning on going back to the house. I mean, to the apartment.
So what's you guys'
My
plan?
dad might be trying to reach me soon. All right, yeah, that's a good idea. What are we gonna do next?
Just out of curiosity, can I do like some research to see if the church has started acting?
If the church does what?
Yeah, the church started acting up its presence in El Paso since the riots. Did I look into that?
That's
like is the diocese moving or something like that?
Ahead. You don't find any increase of church activity since the riots.
Oh.
At least not abnormally so. There is an increase, and that's because a lot of people are needing help. But there's not an abnormal sense of it.
Jasper, can you start tracking down some, just over the course of the next few days, start tracking down some of the research, some research on Leopold without drawing attention, or is that too risky?
Yeah, I can give it a try.
She had a VPN on her laptop, and the FBI came for her, or people posing as the FBI came for her within an hour of searching on the internet for people that don't have a heat signature. If you think that the Society of St. Leopold is involved with those people, then you might want to be careful looking it up.
Yeah, maybe let's see.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I'm just gonna tell my phone that I'm in the Bahamas right now.
Okay, that's good.
As far as location goes.
Do you just poof yourself there, or do you
So
send it? Like, if they're actually tracking your phone, they're going to see you go to the airport and then go to the Bahamas?
Sure. No, I'll probably just poof myself there.
You already took the chip out. Your phone doesn't have a...
yeah,
Your phone doesn't have your... You'd have to put it back and then program it, which you can do if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
I assume you kept it, so... You probably have been
Yeah,
taking
no,
it out
so now
ever
that
since
we're
you were 13 and going out because you knew your father fucking tracked your phone.
so
Yeah.
so
Oh.
now that we're certain of what we're facing,
We're not even certain. We have an
Pratt-
idea that that's what we still need to confirm.
well, then
What are we
you
planning
know,
to do
if
about it is the
we're-
question.
Well, no, that's not what I was asking. Is since we're certain since we're somewhat certain that that's what we're looking up, perhaps we should delve deeper on specifically vampire lore to what exactly they are what they're vulnerable to. Yeah, we
That's
know,
what we're doing. So,
decapitation and fire, but everything dies through decapitation and fire.
yeah, right now just to give you an idea, we asked them to do three things: develop research on one, how to ensure that on how to ensure that what we're dealing with is a vampire, right?
Right.
And we did that in the context of, we told them that in the book we're looking to have a falsely identified creature and then the real thing. So for him to look for lore on how you can distinguish, when you actually catch it, and to distinguish it from another creature. So that's one, is identification. Two, we're asking him, I guess, how to fight it, and so we
their
identified those two things,
vulnerabilities.
right? So he's still looking for that, and then so that's what it is. I think one is making sure that this is the creature and there's no other creatures that fit the bill, which is what he's. But I think it's definitely looking strongly like this vampire. Two is how to confirm that that's what we're dealing with once we track the quarry or investigate it, and then once we're sure how to defeat it. So those are the three things he's going to come back with more research, and I'm going to be sending two of my trusted church group over there to basically download everything he has or scan everything he has into documents, and then hopefully this can turn into. He seems interested in us doing this for his entire library, which would be amazing, because then instead of pouring through old tomes.
Over the course of the next few days, the information you get for that is that during the day they turn into corpses. While the sun is up, they're a corpse. Unmoving, unliving, complete with the rigor mortis, like they've been dead for days, just laying there. And that is from another monk's notes from a Knights of St. Leopold capturing and torture and study.
So Jasper did mention that one of the ones he said was full dead, but they still came in and got it? Or remind me what happened. It's been...
I'm not sure what you're
I've slept
talking
since
about.
then.
Jasper?
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
Yeah, no. Jasper was talking about no, you were talking about the blank bodies, and you said that some of them you had one, but there was one that was
you
full
just
dead.
had yeah, the one that you guys had captured that they came and rescued when they killed your friend. She was just a body in a box.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So there's that.
But when did you see the body?
Would
I don't
Jasper have
think
seen
you
the
ever
body?
actually saw the
I don't
body.
think Jasper saw the body. He might
No,
have heard.
they talked
like,
about it.
reports. Yeah.
But with your own
Maybe you
personal
heard from
eyes, you
some-
never saw it. You weren't that involved.
So but whoever saw it, where did they see the body? Did they see the body during the day or was it at night?
Didn't they?
It was both. Because she was in torpor.
Didn't they like beat torpor? Yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
thinking.
So
So
it
she
was
was out
both.
of it
She
the
was
whole
just
time.
like that for the whole time.
Yeah.
So nothing in the lore that we know of mentioned silver.
No.
I'm trying to think back if my
Okay,
dad
well,
ever
if
voted
not,
for her or
then-
not.
The only things it mentions are sunlight, fire, and decapitation.
All right.
You never get any
Well-
extra information on a way to combat them, on a way to fight them.
Okay.
I'm starting to see a plan
Fire's
developing here,
messy.
though. We know where they live, and if they're corpses during the daytime, then I'm starting. Let's think really broad corners, loose plan. I'm thinking arson, and then swoop in and behead the creature while it's a corpse.
That's nice, but what
The
about
re-
fire department response time?
How are we gonna navigate through the fire?
That's why I said we're starting with this. This is the big plan. I mean, that's the basic plan. Now we got to work the details and how we can actually make it happen. But
Yeah.
And
Fire's
I think
messy,
our-
but you know.
if that's what's gonna, we could do no fire and just sneak in during the day. But chances are, there's a lot of it's got human
Yeah.
guards if it's anything like the other one, and they're
Yeah.
probably armed to the teeth.
Yeah, that
If
when we
since
drove
we're
by,
also
they
doing a
definitely
little
looked
bit of
like
a
money
time jump,
defense.
if you guys want to have a couple of days go by and have the drone keep an eye on the house, you can
Yeah.
track the man in gray to another location. He does not actually live there. So if
that might be
if
better.
you continue tracking him, you'll find another location where the man in gray stays by himself. He does still have guards, but it's not the same security level as that mansion.
By the way, now that a few days
Yeah,
have
I
passed,
think
we've
that's
had,
a good idea.
But we've also had we've also determined then basically that this man in gray is hanging out with James, right? And so James Clark is probably in this same gang of
At
vampires.
least. Yeah. Suspiciously so.
Well, the
I wouldn't quite
house
go to
belongs to
probably.
him, doesn't it?
Yeah, the house belongs to him. As do a couple of other houses
Yeah,
that he's bought in the
it's-
last week.
It's a lot of
But he was
danger
also-
zone. You know.
He was also registering a no heat signature.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And now,
he has no
I-
heat signature, so you do know.
So at what point are we finding out? Now we're probably going to find out who the third guy is, right?
If you guys look him up, yeah. If you guys
that
look him
sounds
up
like a
through facial
natural course of
recognition,
investigation.
yes. Or Sarah can just tell you.
Yeah. Yeah.
have you
Either
guys shown me a
Sarah
picture of him yet?
tells us or we find
Have you
out.
seen what?
Well, that would you have found out
No,
when the rest of us
the
did.
question is no. Well, I mean, all I heard was that they had no heat signature. But did I actually see a picture of them?
Yes, you did see a picture.
Well, we had the video from the drone.
Uh-huh. You have the
Oh,
video
yeah,
from
that's
the
right.
drone.
And I deflected. Okay.
So yeah, so the time is. I mean, yeah, we're either going to find out and be like, "What the fuck," or you're going to head this
Yeah.
off and go, "Hey, the third guy was,"
So yeah, I know who the third
And then
guy
we're going
is.
to have a lot of questions for you. And do you have time to role play that now, or is that maybe something we need to pick up next time?
We
Because that sounds like a conversation.
this sounds like it's going to be a long conversation. We can
Then we'll
open with
stop
that,
here
or
and we
'cause-
will open with that dude's my dad. We'll open with that
Well,
next time.
the other thing is he still hasn't given me the third degree about what FBI agents, what's going on.
Well, I
And I
mean,
know
he
he
did.
wanted to do
It
that at
just
one
we
point.
haven't done it, but he did.
Yeah.
It was late because he was having a meeting. But yeah, we can
Yeah.
maybe do that too if he's around for it. We can do a little
Okay.
time jump and show what he was up to when the call came, which was that meeting with the three of them, and then he answered you when the meeting was over. Okay. Anybody have any questions or whatnot?
Well, I mean, this isn't a question, but another idea I did have was finding a church in a low income housing and just kind of like low income area and just kind of like watching that to see if they have any like if they do anything if there's people more active at night. But I mean, if you guys would rather do the following the man in gray, we can do that too. But that was just another idea I had.
I think the
I think
gray
the
might be the
easiest
more
objective.
logical solution.
Okay.
Yeah, because looking up some random church, I don't think is gonna give us much. You know, if it was something that we knew was linked, then yeah, maybe. But it's just like, oh, let's just look at a church.
Right.
But
Okay.
I think logically we would be better off doing seeing if we can like find a place that he's on its own that he goes to on his own. I think that's logically what we would do,
That makes sense.
unless I'm wrong.
Oh, also on the second day, Knuckle Duster starts staying with him in the other location.
The man in gray.
With the man in gray. Not at the man.
That's sounding more and more like what we were reading about. Also, does anything come back on the Society of Leopold?
No.
Okay, so I think we're kind of like at the end of our
Well, I mean, I guess the
Game
Society
right now.
of Leopold will come back with rumors. It's going to come back with rumors of them showing up and taking over a church and kicking people out of it. And there will be another rumor of them taking over a church and then using it as a fortification in the 1700s to attack a town. You're not finding very much for recent stuff. You do find the name a couple of times, but nothing really about what it's about and what its job is. And there are hundreds of organizations within the church, within the Vatican, and some of them actually are militant in the sense of spiritual warfare, and believing that there are demons and then going to places to fight demons, and that doesn't necessarily mean physical fighting. And then there are other organizations that go and and collect treasures or investigate bleeding statues and stuff like that, and they're one of those weird organizations that go do weird stuff and nobody really talks about it. But they've been around for a long time, and most of their evidence is from really from the Inquisition, which is a little bit later than what the two monks wrote.
Excuse me. I choked on something.
They seem to have taken a strong part in the Spanish Inquisition.
Interesting.
Anything else?
No.
How much experience are we at right now?
I
25?
I don't
think
know.
we're
You get 5 more.
done for now.
Yeah.
Okay.
You get 5 more. And then
I've
that
got
should
it
put us
listed
all at
somewhere.
25 total, and then that's gonna give me 7 to spend. And
Yeah,
then
just
no,
do all of the
next
we are,
sections.
session, next session I want to start wrapping this up. So next session, if at all possible, I would like us to be to the point where you are ready to enact some kind of plan to go and kill them. And then the next session after that will be win or lose.
So, yeah,
right.
so the Man in Black's Man in Gray's residence is more accessible, right? You said it's like. Did you give a
Yeah.
description of that?
He still has guards, but he doesn't have it's not a big mansion with a guard outpost and a bunch of submachine gun armed guards walking all over the damn place. No, it's a house, and let's see. Let's give him a family. It's a house, and he has a family.
Whoa, really? And like, what size house are we talking? Like Walter White's house in Breaking Bad, or
Yeah,
is
I
it
haven't
like
seen that.
like
Like a
nice?
normal size,
Oh, okay.
$120,000 El Paso house.
Okay.
Okay,
It's
so
like
not
bedrooms and all
elaborate,
that.
just
bedroom,
nice.
1-floor house. In
Okay.
a normal, not too fancy area.
He's got neighbors and all that shit.
And he's got neighbors and all that shit. And there's a family. There's going to be a mom and dad who are in their 30s and 3 kids who are all under 10. Deal with that, fuckers. We're going to attack on a school day.
Fun.
Damn it.
I'm going to take note of that.
Mm.
Family. Mom and dad. 30s. 3 kids. We're going to call them 9, 6, and 4. 9, 6, and 4. Okay. Any other questions?
Really, his kids?
Maybe. They don't look like him. In fact, we can make them
I
really
guess
not look like him.
the follow up question I guess I would ask to Mesker then based off of that is like, hey, can we can they reproduce? Can Venture reproduce? Or what I'm
he
calling
finds
Venture.
he finds no evidence one way or the other. It doesn't seem to have ever been noted, or at least not in any of his notes, in any of the things he's gathered. Except that there are, if it's the same creature as that lady wrote in the 70s. I mean, that wasn't him, but the master made one of the other members of the cult one. So if it's all the same creature, he can reproduce by doing it to humanity, to humans.
Right.
Also, all these members of the family that he's living with, they all have heat signatures. As do his guards. He's got 2 additional guards that live there. So there's the family, and then there's 2 guards, and then there's also him and Knuckle Duster, who are the only people staying at that house with no heat signature.
Okay. All right.
I'm having
Yeah,
to stand up and
now
fall
it's
asleep, so
yeah. So we got the conversation to have with Sarah at the beginning of the next session.
That's what we'll start with.
And
or we might actually have the
then-
first scene being back in the time jump of Jack meeting with Alex and then calling her or texting her or whatever. So we'll do Jack as a maiden, and then we'll open with Sarah. Oh my God, that's my dad. Okay.
And then planning the heist.
And then planning
Wait,
the heist.
did did we ever figure our goal is? I mean, I'm okay if we're just gonna like kill them, but did we figure out what the goal was?
I think.
Yeah, well, that's what I was trying to figure out. What are we really trying to do here? Because it looks like there's more at play than just the man in gray.
Yeah, you guys
I
could make your
think
focus
what we
be the man in
originally-
gray or the man in gray and Knuckle Duster. If you want to do some kind of assault on
I
Prince James's
think
house,
at-
it'll be the end of you, but it'll be a fun way to go out with a bang. So we could do that.
Yeah, I think what we decided was that we were going after Ortiz,
Mhm.
and we'll make decisions after that for doing anything more against them. Which that might be a nice follow up, but
Or you can also try and track
I think our
individuals
main
that show up
focus-
there, and and try to track them to places that are easier targets
yeah.
until everybody.
But
starts
it's with
staying
these
at
at
mansion
the
and they
moment.
start
I
hunting
think
you.
our target is Ortiz.
Mhm.
Yeah, at the moment our target is Ortiz, and once we take care of Ortiz, we'll redecide to see. Well, do we want to like lay low for a bit, or what we're going to do after that? At least that's what I thought we were doing.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, because we haven't. Okay.
Jasper, we haven't what?
I mean, you guys can have an in character talk about it later, but that's probably where you should end up. If you guys want to go after the mansion, that's fine, but it will end poorly for you, but it'll still be a fun story to tell.
Yeah.
So it's, do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But
The mansion
decide
is
that.
we
Decide
need,
that
we
as
need
part
more
of the next
support
session
for the
so that
mansion.
we can start wrapping it up.
Yeah.
A little bit.
All right. Cool.
Okay.
I got
If
21
there's no
points,
more
I need to figure out
questions,
what
I'm
I'm
gonna stop that red button. Everybody's good? Stop
Yeah.
recording.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Jasper has 21 points to spend. Is that what you said?